Hello VC, this is Jacob from Moon Rock, and hello to Bill at the Vinylverse. This video is a response to Bill's Show Me Your Oldest Pressings video thread. I've wanted to do this video for a week now, but sadly work has been a bitch this past week, actually the past 2 or 3 weeks. We are, at my work, we are two people who basically do all of the assignments that are in our small department. And my colleague has been sick for 3 of the past 4 weeks. And there's basically no news on when she's coming back. So I've had a lot to do, and I've been very tired and very busy. And yeah, I've just not had the time nor the energy to do any videos. But this one's for you, Bill. This is a really interesting thread. I've gone through my collection on Discogs. Not all of the items that I have are marked with years of release, but I think that I found 5 old ones that I think they're pretty interesting. First off, I want to say I'm really sorry about the lighting. The main lighting plug up here for some reason has just stopped working, and I'm working with 3 floor lamps here, trying to get the light somewhat decent, which has been quite a struggle for me because I really want to get some good light for the video so that you can see the items that I show, but also I don't want too much light on my face because that will just scare all of you away from watching the videos. So I hope that this is okay. Let's see. I hope that you can see the records at least that I'm showing you. Bill, you know me, I have a beer in my glass. This is a double IPA called Green Ferrari. Brewed by the Norwegian brewery. No, it's not. It's by an American brewery called The Vale Brewing. It probably says down here, The Vale Brewing. So this is an 8% alcohol double India Pale Ale. It's really good, and it's really good for showing some very old records. So here we go. Okay, I'm gonna show you 5 records, Bill, and I'm gonna start with the oldest one. Now, I actually have a stack of old 10-inch 78 records, so shellac records, and I'm gonna show one of them to you. Not all of them are on Discogs, and it's really a bitch to create these yourself on Discogs, but this is, according to the Discogs and the items that I have put on there so far, the oldest record in my collection. This is a 1950 pressing featuring Ella Fitzgerald. Let me just get the record out here. So this is Ella Fitzgerald, and the song on side A is Basin Street Blues, and the song on side B is I Am Waiting for the Junk Man. I got these from a neighbor to my parents, who the wife sadly passed away, and he had these records there, and these were given to his now late wife, I think at the time of release, actually, or just shortly after the time of release. So these were given to this woman in the early 50s, and sadly, I don't have a record player that can actually play 78s. I'm always looking, whenever I go to flea markets, I'm always looking for one of those old turntables so that I can listen to these great old records here. Sadly, so far I've not found one that I wanted to buy. Great thing about this is that I'll show you in a second. All of these records have individual sleeves, depending on which store sold them. So this is an old radio store called Stjerne. That's the Danish word for star. So it's Star Radio. That's my hometown, the town I was born in, Vordingborg. So there was like a radio stereo store in Vordingborg back in 1950s that sold radios, turntables, and gramophones, and they did all of the repairs in their own shop, in their own repair shop. And they sold records from all of these labels: Decca, HMV, Taylor Funkin, Philips, and so on. I'll just get out. This is, I think, a part of the stack of 78s that I own. Sorry, there's a lot of cat hair on these ones. They've been standing on the floor for some time because I really have nowhere to put them. So they've been on the floor. You see, this is another record. So this is from the store called Musikhuset, or Music House. This is also from the 1950s. What's really cool is that I actually ended up in 1992. I actually ended up working in that exact same store from 92 and I believe 8 years forward. So that's pretty cool. There are some other sleeves here as well. This is another store located near Copenhagen called KRA. Yeah. So all of these 78s basically come in their own sleeve, dedicated to the store that sold them. So that's pretty cool, I think. Anyway, the one that I wanted to show you, like I said, Ella Fitzgerald and Basin Street Blues, which of course is a classic song, classic number. So that's, at least as far as I know, the oldest record that I own from 1950, Ella Fitzgerald, Basin Street Blues. Moving on to 1959, in one of my favorite stores that primarily sells used records. They also have some new stuff, primarily used records. One time when I visited, the guy had just received a really cool collection of old music from all around the world. And he knows that I'm a big sucker for world music. I know you hate that term, so do I, but that is one of the best ways to describe music that comes from faraway places. And I picked up a lot of the records that he had gotten in. So one of them is this one. This is from 1959. So this is by Mohammed el-Bakkar and his Oriental Orchestra. The album is called Port Said, The Music of the Middle East, from 1959. This was printed in London. This was printed in England. But I'm thinking that maybe this was released in the Middle Eastern countries back then. I'll show you the label here, which is a pretty cool gold label here. So it's out on the record label called Audio Fidelity. Audio Fidelity. I have not listened to this one. Recording first published 1959. I think this is also a 1959 pressing. And it's pretty cool. It comes in this original plastic bag here, yeah, like I said, I have not listened to it yet, but I really think that it's such a beautiful cover, and it's something that you would maybe not see in most Middle Eastern countries today, because of evolution, and because of time, and because of religion, and because of all the stuff that has happened down there in the different countries. This is a really cool record, and I'm very excited to get this. And I've actually had it quite a while now, and it really bums me out that I haven't listened to it yet. But I'll do that one day in a short while, I think. So that was record number 2, Port Said, Music of the Middle East. The next record I want to show you is by a Lebanese singer called Fairuz. So I'm sticking with the Middle Eastern theme, and this is part of the same collection from where I got the Port Said record. This record is by Fairuz, and it is called A Bouquet from Fairuz, which it probably says here in Arabic. You can see Fairuz on the back side here, on the back side of the cover. This was also printed in England, but released in Lebanon in 1959. And I don't know about you, but I think it's pretty damn cool to have records from Lebanon from 1959. Fairuz is a singer that I on my favorite record station here in Denmark. They do a show where they invite guests and they encourage the guests to bring their own music for them to play. So it's free of all playlisting, and the guests can basically choose whichever song or whichever artist that they choose. Normally they get to choose 2 or 3, maybe even 4 songs. And then this Danish actress, whose name has forgotten me now, played a song from Fairuz, and I absolutely loved it. That was a later song. I think that was from the 70s. But that just made me realize that the second I saw this record here, I needed to get this. And it is a beautiful record. She just sings so beautifully. I'll give you a short needle drop of Fairuz, just to give you an idea of what the music is. Fairuz, A Bouquet from Fairuz, 1959, a Lebanese press. Check it out.
حكيت عنك غنيت وسحرك يلي ما بيتباع بكي الورد الجوري سمرا يمنع عيون مساء الدم وهني مطرح ضيق ما بيساع رح حطك بعيني.
I don't know how you feel about music from, say, the Middle Eastern countries, but I absolutely adore that. I think it's so beautiful. It's so relaxing to listen to. If you're stressed, if you've had a tough day, that just really relieves you of all stress, in my opinion, at least. I picked up another record from Fairuz as well, which is a live record from the Damascus International Festival in 1961, and also a record from another Lebanese singer called Kulthum. So I'm very, very chuffed to get those very old, very rare records. Next one I want to show you is this one from Tom Lehrer, Revisited, recorded during a concert performance. Tom Lehrer was, I believe, a physics professor who then also played the piano and then decided to do some really, really funny songs. I first heard of him from my uncle, actually, who played this to me when I was, I think, 12 or 13, 15 years old, something like that. And his name has always stuck with me, Tom Lehrer. So whenever I see a record of his, if I don't have it to begin with, I always buy it because it's quite funny. Some of the songs on here, you have like the Wiener Schnitzel Waltz, and you have Be Prepared. You have When You're Old and Grey, the Irish Ballad. Basically, the lyrics are very, very funny, and he gets a lot of laughs during this concert, and also some of the other albums that he's released. I think that the record that my uncle played me when I was a kid was this one, An Evening with Tom Lehrer, where you have the song called Poisoning Pigeons in the Park. You have Oedipus Rex. There's the Masochism Tango. I believe there's also a song, I think the version that he played me of this album was on CD, so it contained more songs than this one. But there was also a song where he basically named all of the is it elements in the periodical system, all of the metals and all of the stuff. He just basically just recited the whole periodical system. So Tom Lehrer, funny guy. This is from 1960. Yes, 1960. Tom Lehrer revisited. If you want to have a good laugh, he's always great to check out. This is released on Decca. I'll just show you the record label here. Yeah. Okay, so the last one I want to show you is actually a 7-inch from 1962. This is a very, very, very well-known song. Stan Getz, Charlie Bird, and jazz samba is the musical style on this 7-inch here, and it features Desafinado, and it features Samba These Days, and it features El Luxoso. An original Verve 7-inch. It's in really poor shape. It's hardly playable at all. I found it at a flea market for less than $1, and I just wanted to get it, no matter if it played or not. I think that's just a cool record to have, even if you can't play it. From 1962, and that concludes the some of the oldest pressings that I have. Not necessarily the 5 oldest ones, but some of them. Bill, I hope that you're satisfied with this video. I haven't had much beer during the recording of this video, so I'm gonna make up for that now. Stay safe, Bill. I hope you're all doing well out there in the VC. I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.